Close your eyes for a second. Imagine waking up one morning and understanding English. Not perfectly, not like a native, but enough to speak, enough to express, enough to finally feel heard. Now open your eyes, because that version of you is not 5 years away. It's not someday. It's 30 days away if you're willing to show up differently. This is not a fantasy. This is not learn English while you sleep. This is a real challenge, a human challenge, a transformation story. And today, it starts with you. Lesson 1. The truth nobody told you about learning English. Let's begin with honesty. Most people don't fail at English because it's too hard. They fail because they never build a relationship with the language. Think about it. You don't study your best friend. You spend time with them. You listen. You laugh. You understand slowly. English is the same. Right now, maybe English feels like a wall, big, cold, silent. But what if that wall is actually a door, and you've just been pushing instead of pulling? In the next 30 days, we're not going to memorize the language. We're going to live inside it. Today, your only job is simple. Listen. Not perfectly, not completely. Just listen. Play English audio. Watch something, even if you understand only 10%. Because 10% today becomes 20% tomorrow. And that's how doors begin to open. Lesson 2. Why your brain feels tired and why that's a good sign. If your head feels heavy when you hear English, good. That means your brain is working. Learning a language is like going to the gym for your mind. The confusion, the frustration, the "I don't get this." That's your mental muscle growing. But here's the mistake most learners make. They stop when it feels uncomfortable. But growth lives inside discomfort. Today, instead of running away from confusion, sit with it. Listen again. Pause. Repeat. Whisper the words, even if they feel strange in your mouth. You're not trying to sound perfect. You're trying to sound real. And real always comes before perfect. Remember this. Every fluent speaker you admire once felt exactly like you do right now. The only difference? They didn't quit on the hard days. Lesson 3. The power of speaking before you're ready. Let me tell you something that might surprise you. You will never feel ready to speak English. Not tomorrow, not next month, not even next year. Confidence doesn't come before speaking. It comes because of speaking. So today, we changed a rule. You don't wait to feel ready. You speak, even if it's broken, even if it's slow, even if it's just one sentence. Look around you and describe something in English. This is my room. The sky is blue. I feel nervous. That's it. Simple, honest, real. Language is not about big words. It's about clear meaning. And today, you just proved something important. You can speak English, not perfectly, but powerfully enough to begin. Lesson 4. Understanding without translating. Right now, your brain is doing something extra. Every time you hear English, you translate it into your native language, then back again. That's exhausting. And it slows you down. Fluent speakers don't translate. They understand directly. So today, we practice something new. When you hear a word like apple, don't think of the translation. See the apple. Imagine it. Picture it. When you hear run, imagine movement. This is how children learn. And it's the fastest way for you to learn too. You're not just learning words, you're building meaning. And meaning is the real language. Lesson 5. The emotional connection that changes everything. Let's go deeper. Why do you really want to learn English? Not the simple answer. Not for a job or for school. But the real reason, is it to speak without fear? To travel? To express your thoughts? To feel confident in a room where English is spoken? Hold on to that reason, because in the next 30 days, motivation will come and go. Some days you'll feel strong, some days you won't. But your reason, your emotional connection, that's what will carry you forward. Learning English is not just a skill. It's a transformation of identity. You are not just learning how to speak. You are becoming someone who can speak. And that changes everything. Tomorrow, something shifts. You won't just listen. You'll start thinking in English. And when that happens, even for a few seconds, you'll realize something powerful. English is no longer outside you. It's starting to live inside you. If you've made it this far, I want you to pause for a moment. You didn't just watch a video. You took a step. And small steps, repeated daily, create massive change. So here's your challenge. Show up again tomorrow. Not perfect, not confident, just a present. Because 30 days from now, there's a version of you who speaks, who understands, who believes. And that version of you, I am waiting. Lesson 6. When English starts talking back to you, something unusual will happen today. At first, it will feel small, almost unnoticeable. You'll hear a sentence in English, and for a second, you'll understand it without trying. No translation, no pause, just meaning. That moment is powerful, because it means English is no longer something you are chasing. It's something that is starting to meet you halfway. Today, we build on that moment. Listen again. Short sentences, simple conversations. Don't rush. Let the words come to you. And when you catch even one full sentence naturally, pause and smile. Because that's your brain saying, I'm adapting. This is where learning becomes real. Lesson 7. The fear of mistakes and why you need it. Let's talk about something that stops almost everyone. Fear. The fear of saying something wrong. The fear of being judged. The fear of sounding not good enough. But here's the truth. Mistakes are not proof that you're bad at English. They are proof that you're using it. Think about how you learned to walk. You fell again and again. But no one said, stop trying. So why do we treat language differently? Today, your goal is simple. Make one mistake on purpose. Yes, on purpose. Say a sentence you're unsure about. Try a new word. Take a risk, because every mistake you make today removes fear for tomorrow. And fearless learners become fluent learners. Lesson 8. Building your first real conversation. Up until now, you've been listening and speaking in pieces. Today, we connect those pieces. A conversation is not about perfect grammar. It's about flow. So let's build one together. Hi, how are you? I'm good. How about you? I'm learning English. That's great. Simple, short, humans. Now say it out loud, not in your head, out loud. Feel the rhythm, feel the pauses, feel the connection. Language is not just words, it's interaction. And today, you didn't just practice English, you used it. Lesson 9. The secret of repetition. Without boredom, repetition is powerful. But let's be honest, it can feel boring. So most learners stop repeating too soon. But what if repetition didn't feel like repetition? Today, instead of repeating the same sentence the same way, change it slightly. I am happy. I am very happy. I am happy today. I feel happy right now. See what's happening? You're not just repeating, you're expanding. This keeps your brain engaged, curious, alive. And over time, these small variations build a strong, flexible language system in your mind. Repetition is not about doing the same thing again. It's about doing it better each time. Lesson 10. Listening like a native thinker. Native speakers don't hear every word. They hear patterns. They predict meaning. They fill in gaps naturally. Today, you start doing the same. Listen to a short English clip. Don't try to understand every word. Instead, ask yourself, what is the general idea? Even if you catch only 50%, that's enough. Because communication is not about perfection. It's about understanding the message. And when you stop chasing every word, you start understanding the language. Lesson 11. Your inner voice is changing. Something deeper is happening now. Your inner voice, the voice in your mind, is beginning to shift. Maybe just a word, maybe a short phrase, but it's there. English is no longer just something you hear outside. It's starting to speak inside you. Today we strengthen that voice. Think simple thoughts in English. I am tired. I need water. This is easy. It might feel slow. That's okay, because speed comes later. Right now, clarity matters more, and your inner voice is becoming clearer every day. Lesson 12. The day you almost quit. Let's be real. Today might feel harder. Not because you're failing, but because your brain is adjusting to a new level. This is the point where many people stop. They say, maybe this isn't for me. But what they don't realize is, this is the exact moment before improvement. Every learner reaches this wall, but only a few push through. So if today feels heavy, confusing, or frustrating, that's not a sign to quit. That's a sign you're growing. Stay, just one more day. Lesson 13. Turning English into a daily habit. Fluency doesn't come from one big effort. It comes from small daily actions. So today, we make English part of your life, not just your study time. Change your phone language. Think in English while walking. Say simple sentences during your day. English is no longer a subject. It's an environment. And when you live in a language, you don't just learn it, you absorb it. Lesson 14. The confidence shift. You didn't notice. Look back for a moment. A few days ago, speaking even one sentence felt difficult. Now, you're forming thoughts, understanding more, trying more. That's confidence. Not loud, not dramatic, but real. Confidence is built quietly, through action. So today, recognize your progress, not as perfect English, but as real growth. Because progress, even small progress, is powerful. Lesson 15. The moment you realize you can do this today is different. Not because the lessons changed, but because you changed. You're no longer the same learner who started this journey. You've faced confusion, fear, doubt, and you're still here. That matters. So today, say this out loud. I can learn English. Not someday. Maybe not. But now. Because the journey is already happening. And the version of you who once felt unsure is slowly becoming someone who believes. In the next part, everything deepens. You won't just speak. You'll start expressing emotions, telling stories, and understanding real conversations. And that's where English becomes not just a skill, but a voice. If you're still here, I want you to notice something. You didn't stop. That alone puts you ahead of thousands of others who gave up too soon. So don't break the chain now. Come back tomorrow. Because each day you continue. You're not just learning English. You're proving to yourself that you can finish what you start. And that lesson is bigger than language. Lesson 16. Speaking your first real story today. Something powerful begins. Up to now, you've spoken sentences. But today, You tell a story. Not a big story, not a perfect story, just a real one. Think about your morning. Now say it in English. I woke up. I felt tired. I drank tea. I went outside. It may sound simple. That's okay. Because storytelling is not about big words. It's about connecting moments. And today, for the first time, you're not just speaking English, you're living in it. Lesson 17. Emotions give language. Life words alone are not enough. Emotion gives them meaning. Say this sentence. I am tired. Now say it again, but feel it. I am really tired. Do you notice the difference? English is not just what you say, it's how you say it. Today, practice expressing feelings. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm proud. These are not just words. They are your voice, and your voice deserves to be heard. Lesson 18. Understanding real conversations. Real conversations are messy. People speak fast. They skip words. They change direction. And that's okay. Because real English is not perfect English. Today, listen to a natural conversation. You won't understand everything. But listen for key ideas. Who is speaking? What are they talking about? How do they feel? You're not decoding every word. You're understanding the human message. And that's what real communication is. Lesson 19. The power of pauses. You don't need to speak fast. You need to speak clearly. And pauses are powerful. Native speakers pause all the time, to think, to breathe, to express. So today, slow down. I am learning English. That was a good day. Pauses are not a weakness. They are in control. And when you control your pace, you control your message. Lesson 20. From words to identity. At this point, something deeper is happening. You're not just learning English. You're becoming someone who uses English. That's identity. And identity changes everything. Because when you see yourself as someone who speaks English, your actions follow. So today, stop saying, I am trying to learn English. Say, I am an English learner. Better yet, I am becoming fluent. Because what you believe shapes what you become. Lesson 21. The day English feels natural. There will be a moment today. Small, quiet, but powerful. You'll say something in English without thinking too much, and it will feel natural. That's not luck. That's progress. Your brain is building patterns, connections, shortcuts, understanding. So when that moment comes, don't ignore it. Notice it, because that's proof. You are changing. Lesson 22. Expanding your world. Through language, English is not just a subject. It's a bridge. A bridge to people, ideas, opportunities. Today, explore something you enjoy. In English, music, videos, stories. Not because you have to, but because you want to. When learning becomes enjoyable, it becomes sustainable. And when it becomes sustainable, it becomes permanent. Lesson 23. The confidence to be understood. Fluency is not about using perfect grammar. It's about being understood. So today, focus on clarity. Speak simple. Speak directly. I need help. I don't understand. Can you repeat that? These are powerful sentences because they allow communication to continue. And communication, not perfection, is the goal. Lesson 24. Learning to think, not translate. Now we go deeper. You're beginning to think in English, not full sentences yet, but words, ideas, fragments. And that's enough. Because thinking in English is like building a new path in your mind. At first, it's small, but the more you use it, the stronger it becomes. So today, stay in English as long as you can, even if it's just for a few minutes. Because those minutes are building fluency. Lesson 25. The halfway realization. You're halfway through. Take a moment to feel that. Halfway. And look how far you've come. You can understand more. You can speak more. You're not the same person who started this journey. But here's the truth. The second half is where transformation becomes visible, where confidence grows stronger, where English becomes part of who you are. So don't slow down now. This is where it gets exciting. In the next phase, everything becomes sharper. You'll learn how to respond faster, think clearer, and speak with more confidence in real situations. This is where learners become speakers. Right now, you have a choice. You can say, "This is enough," or you can say, "I'm just getting started." Because the next 15 days will shape the way you see yourself forever. So keep going, not because it's easy, but because it matters. And because deep down, you know you're capable of more. Lesson 26. Responding without freezing. There was a time when someone spoke English to you, and your mind went blank. You heard the words, but your response got stuck somewhere inside. Today, we change that. You don't need the perfect answer. You need a response. So practice simple reactions. Yes, I understand. Not really. Can you say that again? These are your lifelines in conversation. They keep the moment alive. Because communication is not about saying everything. It's about staying present. And today, you stayed. Lesson 27. Thinking faster, not harder. Speed doesn't come from pressure. It comes from familiarity. The more you see and use English, the faster your brain recognizes patterns. So today, we train speed gently. Listen to short questions and answer quickly. Not perfectly. Quickly. What is your name? My name is... Where are you from? I'm from... No overthinking. Just response. Because fluent speakers don't build sentences word by word. They recall them. And now, so are you. Lesson 28. Handling real-life situations. Imagine this. You're in a store. Someone asks, "Can I help you?" Before you might panic, but now you have tools. I'm just looking. Yes, I need this. Where is this item? Simple, clear, effective. Today you practice real situations. Not classroom English, life in English. Because language is not learned in theory. It's used in moments. And now, you're ready for those moments. Lesson 29. The strength of simplicity. There's a myth that strong English means complicated sentences. But the truth? Simple English is powerful English. I need time. I understand now. That makes sense. Clear, direct, confidence. Today, remove the pressure to sound advanced. Focus on being understood. Because clarity builds confidence, and confidence builds fluency. Lesson 30. When you surprise yourself today, something unexpected may happen. You'll say a sentence, and even you will think, "Wow, I said that." That moment matters. Because it's not just about the sentence. It's about belief. You're starting to trust your ability, and trust changes everything. So when it happens, pause. Acknowledge it. Because that's growth in real time. Lesson 31. Listening between the words. Understanding English is not just about words. It's about tone, emotion, intention. Someone says, "That's fine." But how do they say it? Are they happy, upset, neutral? Today, listen deeper. Notice how people sound, not just what they say. Because real communication lives between the words. And now, you're beginning to hear it. Lesson 32. Speaking with emotion and clarity. Now we combine everything. Words, emotion, confidence. Say this. I'm really excited about this. Feel it. Say this. I don't understand. Can you help me? Mean it. This is not just practice. This is an expression. Because when your words carry emotion, people listen. And today, your English starts to feel alive. Lesson 33. The day fear loses control, fear may still be there. But something has changed. It's no longer controlling you. Before, fear stopped you from speaking. Now, you speak, even with fear. And that's courage. Today, do one thing that used to scare you. Speak longer. Try a new sentence. Start a conversation. Not because you're fearless, but because you're stronger than your fear. Lesson 34. Becoming comfortable with imperfection. Let's be honest. Your English is not perfect. And that's okay. Because perfection is not the goal. Connection is. Today, allow yourself to be imperfect. Speak freely. Make mistakes. Keep going. Because every imperfect sentence is a step toward fluency. And every fluent speaker was once imperfect too. Lesson 35. The shift from learner to speaker. This is a big moment. You're no longer just learning English, you're using it, thinking about it, expressing through it. That's the shift. From a learner to the speaker. And once that shift happens, there's no going back. Because now, English is not something you study. It's something you live. The final phase is here. This is where everything comes together. Confidence, clarity, consistency, and most importantly, identity. Because in the last lessons, you won't just improve your English, you'll redefine who you are. You've come too far to stop now. Think about where you started. Think about how you felt. And now look at yourself. Stronger, braver, more capable. So take a breath and get ready. Because the final stretch is where transformation becomes permanent. Lesson 36. Speaking without asking for permission. There was a time when you waited to feel ready. I waited to feel confident, waited for the right moment. But that version of you is gone. Today, you don't wait. You speak. Not because you know everything, but because you've learned enough to begin. Say what you want to say. Join the conversation. Ask the question. Because language is not given to you. You take part in it. And today, you step forward without asking for permission. Lesson 37. Owning your voice. Your English does not need to sound like anyone else's. Not faster, not fancier, not perfect. It just needs to sound like you. Your tone, your rhythm, your personality. So today, stop comparing. Stop thinking, they are better than me. Start thinking, I am improving every day. Because your voice matters. And now, it's strong enough to be heard. Lesson 38. Expressing opinions with confidence. Real communication goes beyond facts. It includes opinions, thoughts, ideas, beliefs. So today, you practice saying what you think. I think this is good. I don't agree. In my opinion, simple phrases, strong meaning. Because when you express your opinion, you're not just speaking English, you're participating in the world. Lesson 39. Understanding without effort. Think back to day one. Everything felt slow, heavy, confusing. Now, something has changed. You understand more, without trying as hard. This is automatic processing. Your brain has built connections. And now, English flows more naturally. So today, trust your understanding. You don't need to catch every word. You already know enough to understand the message. And that's fluency in motion. Lesson 40. The confidence that stays quiet. Confidence is not loud. It doesn't need to prove anything. It shows up quietly. In the way you speak, in the way you respond. That way you don't panic anymore. That's you now. Not perfect, but stable, capable, present, and that kind of confidence stays. Lesson 41. Teaching what you've learned. The best way to grow is to teach. Explain something simple in English. Help someone understand a word, a sentence, an idea. When you teach, you organize your thoughts, you strengthen your knowledge, and you realize something powerful. You know more than you think. Today, you're not just a learner, you're a guide for someone else. Lesson 42. Handling real conversations naturally. Now, conversations feel different. You're not just reacting. You're engaging, asking questions, responding naturally, keeping the flow alive. That's real communication. So today, have a longer conversation, even if it's simple, because every real conversation builds real confidence. Lesson 43. Letting go of the fear of judgment. People may judge. They always do. But here's the truth. Most people are too busy thinking about themselves to focus on your mistakes. So today, let go. Speak freely, not for them, for you, because your growth is more important than their opinion. And the moment you realize that, you become unstoppable. Lesson 44. Recognizing your transformation and pause. Look back. You started this journey unsure, maybe even afraid. Now, you understand. You speak, you express. That's transformation. Not overnight, but day by day, step by step. And today you see it clearly. You've changed. Lesson 45. Speaking with purpose. Words have power. And now you know how to use them. So today, speak with intention. Don't just say words. Say what matters. I want to improve. I believe in myself. I will continue. Because language is not just communication, it's direction. And today, your words are guiding your future. Lesson 46. The habit that will carry you forward. These 30 days were not just a challenge. They were the beginning of a habit. Listening, speaking, thinking in English, daily, consistent, real, and habits create long-term change. So today, don't stop. Continue, because fluency is not a finish line. It's a lifestyle. Lesson 47. Becoming comfortable in any situation. You may not know every word, but you know how to handle yourself. That's confidence. Walk into a situation, listen, respond, adapt. You're no longer lost, you're present. And presence is power. Lesson 48. Trusting your journey. There will still be days when you feel slow, moments when you forget words. That's normal. But now, you know something important. Progress is not always visible, but it's always happening. So trust your journey, because you've already proven that you can grow. Lesson 49. The identity you built. You are not the same person anymore. You are someone who understands English, speaks English, thinks in English. That's identity. And identity is powerful. Because once you become someone, you don't go back. And now, English is part of who you are. Lesson 50. The final realization. This is the end of the 30-day journey. But it's not the end of your story. Because what you gained is not just English. It's discipline, confidence, belief. You showed up, even on hard days, even when it felt slow. And that's why you're here. Close your eyes again. Remember the person you were on day one. Uncertain, hesitant, maybe even afraid. Now open your eyes. Look at who you are today. Stronger, braver, more capable. You didn't just learn English. You proved something to yourself. That you can start, that you can continue, that you can finish. So here's what comes next. Don't stop. Keep speaking, keep listening, keep growing. Because this journey was never about 30 days. It was about becoming someone who never gives up. And that person is you.